Kendra, and for today's project in my series 31 Projects in 31 Days, a series that I'm doing for Vlogtober where I pick something out of my craft stash, use it for inspiration, and make something useful, or do a project that makes my life better, or at least more interesting. So today's project is a Halloween garland for me to hang out here on my porch. I am making it out of 3 balls of Super Saver that I had in stash. There is an orange, a black, and then the variegated zebra, as well as this little inspiration number, which is Yarn Bee Gilt Eyelash. Isn't it terrible, folks? It actually has kind of a neat effect when you use it, which is why I bought it, but I bought it before I knew better. When I first started making crochet things and crochet things for sale, I thought, well gosh, I could add some fun and whimsy to projects. This stuff is terrible to work with. Though as far as eyelash goes, this one is at least soft. Some are more, I don't know, like hurt your fingers more when you're using them. But these are terrible, and I need to get them out of my stash because I feel bad just, I don't know, like throwing them out or giving them away. Because they do make kind of a cool result. They're just a pain to work with, so it's not like it's something I would regularly stash in the future. But I have this, so now I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to show you what I did. I made this. It is a number of these like triangular flags all strung together with the obnoxious eyelash yarn, which is like super sparkly and fun. I was not sure what my husband's reaction was going to be, but when he saw the finished product, he went, "Ooh, I like the sparkly silver on it." So I have a fan, and that is good. The way that I made these is I just made simple triangles. I started by chaining 2 and putting 3 single crochets into the second loop from my hook. I used an eye hook to make these. So I did 3 stitches into the first one, then I chained 1 and turned and did 3 into that next one. Chained 1 and I did an increase, 3 stitches, increase in the ends. Then I had 5 stitches. Then I worked in pattern and did 5 stitches in the next row. Then I chained 1 and turned and did an increase till I had 7. And I did that alternating increase, non-increase rows till I had 31 stitches, and I ended on a row in pattern of 31. Now when you're done, the squares don't lay very flat, or triangles, I know my shapes. The triangles don't lay very flat. So I used my eye hook and I single crocheted down the edge, put 3 in the tip, back up the edge, 2 in each corner, so 2 in this corner across the top, and then an extra 1 here in the corner, so there's 2 in this top corner, and I slip stitched it. That gave them some stability and helps them keep their shape. I did that in the orange with this. In the zebra, I would have done it with the zebra color. I ended up using black because I used the entirety of the skein of zebra that I had. So I didn't have enough to do the edging in it, so I did it in black. Then I connected all of the little bunting flags together with black yarn. First I chained 15, then I went back and I slip stitched into that chain. Then I held the edges of that slip stitch chain together and made a loop. I slip stitched through that, so now it's a loop. Then I foundation single crocheted 5 to give me just a little bit of space between my loop and my flag starting. And then I started in around my shapes. So I single crocheted down, 3 single crochets in the tip, single crochet back up. Then I chained 1. Then I picked up the next flag and slip stitched into it. And then I chained 1 and I single crocheted down, 3 in the tip, and so on and so forth till I have them all connected. And I got to this end where I foundation single crocheted 5, I chained 14, I slip stitched back, and then I slip stitched along the loop closed. Then I slip stitched down my 5 single crochets, then I just single crocheted all the way along the top, making sure to put 1 single crochet into each of the chain spaces between the flags because it helps them to lay flat and give them just a little bit of spacing. Otherwise, the edges will kind of curl and it won't lay flat. So I did that all the way to the end, and then of course slip stitched here. Then I decided to add on my frilly little glitter border. I played with a bunch of different ways to do this. I tried holding it double with the yarn. That just didn't give it the right effect. For eyelash yarn to look good, it needs a lot of room to grow. And you need to have more of the eyelash than you think, because it's just this single strand down the middle, which is not very thick. And by itself, it's not very thick. Even kind of doubled, it just doesn't have that great eyelashy effect that you get like when it's in this big ball. So what I did was I slip stitched, you know, to connect it. And then I chained 3, which gives it that fullness and body that you need. I used a bigger hook. I used an L hook to do the chain 3, and then I skipped a stitch on my flag. So now I have a little loop. And I went and made a single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3, skip a stitch, single crochet, chain 3, skip a stitch, single crochet. So I have these little loops where if you actually like go and stick your fingers in, there's little loops all down the side. And when you're all done with all your stitching, you go and you fluff the eyelash yarn in its spaces. And see how much nicer that looks? You have a clean edge, but it's just super sparkly. So I went around and did that. Now when it came to the tips, I had been putting 3 stitches in the end of each tip, but not with the eyelash yarn. I just kept doing the single crochet, chain 3, skip a stitch, single crochet, just all the way around. So the tips ended up kind of different. And I counted, you know, even the space in the middle, count that as a space, just keep going. And then you fluff it all out, and you have a lovely Halloween banner. And obviously, you can do this for any holiday. I'm thinking there's going to be some Christmases. I'm kind of using this as a test. I'm going to leave it out on my porch and see how it fares in the weather. Porch decorations can be kind of difficult here in Kansas because it's really windy. And so a lot of things either break or blow off my porch. But I think that these will have, you know, they can move with the wind. So they might blow back and forth a lot, but that's okay. It's acrylic. It's basically indestructible. It can be in the wind and the rain and whatever. It's not going to be up against the house, so I don't have to worry about like mold issues with having a wet piece of fabric up against my house. It's going to be hanging in midair, so it can just drip dry like things do on my clothesline. So I'm going to test this out, and if it works well, I'm going to make these for a bunch of different seasons. I have some pink eyelash yarn still. I'll be making some hearts or something like that for my porch for Valentine's. And if this works too, I will definitely be making some flags for the winter. You know, because it's important to have a little something fun to look out your window and see. So that's my project for today. And I will show you what it looks like on my porch when I put my porch together with all my fall decorations, which will be forthcoming in this series. So keep your eyes out. If you would like, you may subscribe down below, and I will show up in your feed every day. You can see my daily vlogs, what I'm up to, what I'm crafting, in addition to having the rest of the series pop up. Or you can check out my channel where there is a playlist of all 31, or eventually there will be 31 projects in 31 days for Vlogtober. So I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!